Both of the presidential candidates have been playing down the expectations for their debate performances over the past couple of weeks. You know that. Yesterday at a polling station in Nevada, President Obama said that preparing for the debate was, quote, a drag. In the meantime, Mitt Romney says it's not about who wins or loses. It's about who plays. He didn't say anything about a game, but he said, you know, we have serious issues at play here. Anyway, both men have been holed up, studying intensely and practicing for the debate. Joining me now, a Hiram College political professor, Jason Johnson, and Republican strategist Ron Bonjean. Thank you so much.
Thanks
For some reason, I'm a little off kilter now, but I'm fine. Jason, I'm just wondering about this Pennsylvania ruling. A judge ruled that you don't have to show your ID before you vote in Pennsylvania. Of course, that's on appeal, but on the day of the election, you won't have to show your voter ID. Will that make a difference for Democrats, let's say?
Oh, that's going to be a huge difference for Democrats. I mean, look, you had the Republican head of the state Senate saying that voter ID was going to hand Pennsylvania to Mitt Romney. Well, now the state is at play. So Mitt Romney has to compete fairly. There's not going to be any voter ID laws disenfranchising people. It doesn't mean he can't win the state, but it certainly means that now you can definitely say, Pennsylvania leans blue, leans towards Obama without voter ID sort of gumming up the works.
So Ron, is the Pennsylvania ruling a blow for Republicans?
No, I don't think so. Mitt Romney thinks that he can still be competitive in Pennsylvania, but I think what we're going to end up seeing here are people voting multiple times, and that's what we're worried about. We want to make sure that people, when they vote, they're registered to vote and that it's fair and it's valid. Okay,
so let's talk about early voting, because early voting has already started in Ohio and in Florida. So, Jason, the first presidential debate hasn't even happened yet. It just seems wrong somehow.
Well, no, I think early voting makes sense. I've been saying all year there's no such thing as an undecided voter when you've got an incumbent president. Mitt Romney's been running for president for 5 years. Barack Obama's been in the office for 4 years. Pretty much every American already knows who they're going to vote for. All they want to do is go and vote. I'm voting in Ohio next week. I'm an early voter. I already know how I'm going to vote one way or another. Most Americans do. I think this is great.
Wait a minute, Jason. You already know how the presidential debates haven't happened. I know you will be glued to the set.
I've been watching these guys for years. I pretty much know who's good and who's bad. It's not that complicated at this point.
Okay, so Ron, both candidates are fighting for a teeny bit of the electorate. Right. Is this a weird election or is it normal?
No, I think it's very normal. It's been reflective of the last 2 or 3 presidential cycles. I mean, if you look at it in the early voting, you have both sides have the low 40s in terms of a base election. You have people in 42, 43% who are saying, we know who we're going to vote for. So now they're focused on the other, between 5 and 8 or 9% of how can they sway those swing voters. And that's what these debates, and that's what the last 5 weeks are going to be an attempt to do. So no, this is not unusual, and this is what happens. This is how the country is so evenly divided that it's that tight. That's going to be a nail biter.
Okay, I'd like to now explore the issue of the October surprise. And I'd like your prediction, Jason. I mean, will there be an October surprise, and who will it benefit?
If it's a surprise, we don't know, do we? I mean, that's the interesting thing about it. I mean, look, it could be. I actually think that, what happened in Libya could be considered sort of our late October surprise, but who knows? I mean, Mitt Romney could come out and say, I gave $1 million to end the referee strike. That's why it happened. Or, Barack could get Michelle pregnant. Who knows? Anything could happen in the next month. And the thing is, it's just going to be a matter of how the campaigns manage it, not necessarily what the surprise is.
Ron, do you agree?
Yeah, I think there will end up being a surprise. This is things are too normal, so to speak. We're waiting for the debates to happen. We're waiting for the next few weeks to unfold. We had the embassy attack in Libya. We still have Israel threatening to do something about Iran. So we don't know if there's going to be another foreign policy crisis that unfolds, because things are still unfolding in that part of the world. So sure, there's a crisis that could happen at any point in time that could take the race in a different trajectory.
All right, Jason Johnson, Ron Bonjean, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
CNN's live debate coverage starts tomorrow night, 7 Eastern.
This is Rudy. His morning starts with arthritis pain and 2 pills. Afternoon's overhaul starts with more pain, more pills. Triple checking hydraulics, the evening brings more pain, so back to more pills. Almost done when, hang on.